But yeah, there is no freedom. If there was freedom, then we'd be floating in space. There is no freedom. You have a life. You're born. You didn't choose it. You grow up, circumstances. You try to make something out of it.
You're listening to the Remote Explorers podcast, a show that allows you to connect, learn, and be inspired by the stories of people who have used the power of remote work to have unconventional experiences in their lives. The podcast is hosted by Mayur and Shehzada, who are experienced and equally curious remote workers.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Remote Explorers podcast. Me and Mayur, we are very excited for today's episode. We have Mr. Lucky Ali with us.
Hi, Mayur. And hi, Shehzada. Nice to meet you.
So Lucky bhai, you've always followed your heart. There are so many out there who hold themselves back due to some social norms. What are your 2 cents for those people?
See, if you follow your heart, you have to be answerable for why you follow your heart and be responsible for following your heart in that sense. A lot of people say, use your mind. In fact, yesterday I was having a talk with a friend of mine in Bombay, and we were discussing Dr. Raja Ramanna and, these people. And who was this? Einstein. And we said, okay, they use their mind, you understand, and made a lot of benefit for mankind, But I feel that it was, apart from their mind, they used a lot of heart in expressing or taking the time out to make that study and to teach it to people. You see, so I feel that, having your heart in place and being answerable, but keeping your mind far behind. You understand? So that's how I've worked till now in terms of even my, and it works because, you're doing things by virtue of how you feel about it, mainly music as far as I'm concerned. So I won't use my mind in that market mein ye chal raha hai, market mein wo chal raha hai. I'll go according to mere dil ko kaisa lag raha hai. You understand? How do I feel with this, so those are things. And then that takes you on journeys, whatever journeys, and they're pleasant journeys.
So when you talk about the journeys, we as humans, we are driven by desires. Desires leads us to innovation in the society. It leads to creativity in the society. But desires also leads to a lot of suffering. So how should one manage being ambitious, having desires to succeed, but also be grounded and accept that suffering when it comes to your life?
There are always ups and there are always downs in life. I would say there's a big gap between poverty and then having a lot of everything. People have, but there are many people, and even in the villages out here, who've not been in an aeroplane till now. They see the aeroplane flying from there, but they prefer to go next door village and apne scooter pe chale jayega, whatever the technology allows. So I don't know how far this technology is going to take us, but I feel we should, instead of making things more easy in the workplace, if you worked in a more practical, more kind of like an idea that you have, that you want to see something in a particular, I'll put it to a song. When I start out with a song, I don't say ki ye aisa hone wala. I know dil ko acha lagna chahiye, or it should be true to me. And if it is true to me, it will become true for everyone else. You understand? I'm not guided by popular principles, or I'm not guided by that. I'm guided by what's at hand, what's the ground reality, and then try to find a solution within that. Nobody comes with the burden. The burden's already there. You've got to make, how easy it is for everyone. Like how do you sort out people? How do you sort out your songs? How do you sort out, those kind of things. Does that make sense? I don't know if I...
Yes, complete sense. You have to be true to yourself if you desire something just because the neighbor has it or somebody else has it. I don't think that's the right way to go about it. So Lucky bhai, you are a legend. I am 35. I've been listening to your songs since I was in school. Shehzada is 10 years younger than me. He's been mad about your songs, and your songs have really shaped us as travelers or as a person. And I am sure when my kids start understanding the depth of the songs and your voice, they will. So it's like eternal wisdom in your songs, in lyrics, in your deep voice. How do you stay grounded knowing that all these generations are crazy about Lucky Ali?
I don't even think like that. I'm scared to be in the position that I'm in because there's so much answerability. You know, when you're answerable for the thing and you have to live by what you say. Like, for example, if I don't live what I say in my songs, that means I'm a hypocrite. It means I'm a liar. I have lied. And for a liar, there's no recourse. Bhagwan bhi nahi matlab maaf karte hain uske liye. You know what I mean? Because Bhagwan hates lies. It's basically the intention. It's not, you might mean well, but maybe the circumstances is not right. You know, the circumstances may not be what you call conducive to your meaning well for a particular project. Like, for example, someone starts a project and wants me to, like, you know, be part of it, but wants me to be part of it by virtue of taking a hit on myself, for example. नहीं आप पैसे ना लें, आप ये ना करें, आप वो ना करें, because आगे चलकर कुछ होगा. So you go with that. You understand what I mean? You go with that journey. And then circumstances may be conducive, circumstances may not be conducive, you know? And then you choose, then it's your choice. I chose to be in that situation. So if I take a loss for it, I'm taking a loss for it. If I'm taking a gain for it, I'm taking a gain for it. In my work in the music, it's not only me, it's all of us. You know, it's all of us. I'll even listen to you if you say something that touches my heart. You know, that becomes an idea for a song maybe. And, you know, that makes the growth of the song. To be able to listen to anybody, even to a child, you know. And sometimes you listen to when there's nothing to listen to. You listen to the silence. And in that silence you find, you know, and in that silence there should be prayer and gratitude. Main ka ghar khali. Remember, it's, if you are on a journey of I, me and myself, then nature is unforgiving.
You mentioned silence, and while doing research, while reading more about you, you call it the eighth note, right?
Can you hear? See where I am. It's this sound, you know, that you hear from the, you know, sometimes the wind goes through this and it's like a whistling sound. Yeah. These plants, you know, these are pines, these are whistling pines. And sometimes, like, whistling sound, you know, like, yeah, you have to listen for everything. Bhagwan ne kaan diye na, wo bhi sunna chahiye. Nobody is taught these things. I mean, if you're aware, I mean, if you go out, as you say, I had the opportunity to work on a horse farm in Kentucky for about 2 years. Then I've done films outside of India. I've done music outside of India. But then it all happened here. It happened in India for them to understand that we do something like this and to want to be a part of that. But all that you gather, all that I feel that I've gathered is from here. I mean, from my environment here. And being, of course, I went to a nice school. I went to Mussoorie, where in Hampton Court in St. George's in Mussoorie. And I spent a big part of my years out there. And you had children from all over, from Thailand, from America, from here, there, Woodstock. We were part of the inter-school sports competition. And so you get to know me and meet people. And then our school is like more like most of the students out there went to the army. So we were trained for a purpose, you know, like to be strong, to be like, you know, to go down to the lake, you know, all those things, physical education. Physical education helps you to keep your mind fresh as children, to be part of sport, to go on hikes, you know. And then you see, I mean, if those things are the thing, most of my friends today from Mussoorie are either in the Navy or in the, I'm the only one who's become a singer. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, and they tell me like, "Arey tu apna kaam karte rahe," you know what I mean? You sing. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. But, you know, we still share notes. We still, like, you know, visit places. We grow up now. We say, "Arey baap re, tu itna bada ho gaya." You know, it's like that. So Yeah, man. I mean, I'm very grateful to the Almighty God that I had this space. And I grew up, I was born in Bombay. I grew up in Missouri. And then, like, I mean, of course, my parents didn't keep us part of the film industry because they never wanted us to be in the industry. So I had an aversion to the industry right from the beginning. I used to feel like, and so that allowed me to probably build my perspective, meet people outside of the film industry, outside of, that cage of, you know, and yeah.
Again, taking cue from one of your songs, what do you prefer, the mountains or the sea? आपका दिल कहाँ होता है, पहाड़ों में या किनारों में?
See that dil bhi kahin hai pahadon mein, thoda sa kahin hai kinaron mein is just an expression where I'm comfortable anywhere. Like I just wrote a song just now, which I'm releasing, I think next in about 10 days. I'll just sing a couple of lines for you.
Yes.
So this is the first time. क्या शहर क्या है गांव कहीं भी रह जाऊं मैं घर तो है रास्ता जाऊं मैं जिस तरह करीबी राबता. Basically I'm saying is क्या शहर क्या है गांव कहीं भी रह जाऊं मैं घर तो है रास्ता जाऊं मैं जिस तरह. If I go on a bullock cart or a cycle or and just करीबी राबता means you make relationships with people. And that's how you grow. You talk to people. You don't be shy. हमारे लोग बड़े shy होते हैं, मतलब to talk and to communicate. Yeah. We should talk. We should, that's how. Be friendly. Even if you can't do anything for them, just be friendly. A smile is a big charity.
That's beautiful, Lucky Bhai. When I look back at my journey, I grew up in a small town. Same with Shehzada.
Same with me. I grew up in Yelahanka. Yelahanka was on village. I mean, I know you must be thinking farm per Mahmood Saab ke, but dad kept me totally grounded. हमको काम करना पड़ता था घोड़े का लीद उठाना पड़ता था. There was no this thing, I mean, for us, no rahat. When the assizes got up to, take care of the horses, so my father used to megaphone ke upar, Lucky, at 3:30 in the morning. So, we've gone through that. And he had that respect because he grew up from nothing. He made his life from having everything and nothing, which is even my life. You have everything and you have nothing. Because क्या लेकर आए थे जो लेकर जाएंगे भैया.
खाली
सब
हाथ
होकर
आए
भी
थे.
कौन. हाँ बस और खाली हाथ ही जाने वाले हैं. कौन लेकर आने वाला है. बस प्यार के दो मीठे बोल झिलमिलाएंगे. If you can be loving, that's what it is. It just takes care of everything. And love can never go wrong.
I want to know your definition. What is freedom for you? What is the meaning of freedom for you?
Bhaiya, there is no freedom. If there was freedom, then we'd be floating in space. There is no freedom. You have a life. You're born. You didn't choose it. You grow up, circumstances. You try to make something out of it. You realize value from it. You try to understand who, where, why. And if that is of some consequence to you, you start looking for answers more. For me, it was like, why am I born here? Matlab, main paida hi kyun hua? It's like that kind of a confusion as a child, like I didn't want to be here in the sense like I always felt that, I don't know, in my growing years, I just felt a futility in like, you're going to grow up, you're going to die. And then what do? You are going to die. I mean, there's nothing that you can, koi matlab, immortality to hone wali nahi hai isme. But what you can do is, you can make it pleasant. You can make it, worthwhile. Because we can think, we can make choices. Unlike animals are more disciplined than us. They have a routine. The rooster every 15-20 minutes, matlab har आधे घंटे के बाद on the dot he बांग देता है. आप सोचो. So that's discipline. हम में वो नहीं है. हमें, we have choice. And then you have to find, the right choices. And that's the difference between us and animals.
We were talking about me and Shehzada and even you being from small places. And
Yes.
for us, while growing up, we did not know much about the outer world, right? That curiosity about outer world, everything else was shaped up because of your songs. So how does
Okay.
it feel when you know that you have touched so many hearts and you have created so many different stories?
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean, just like you, I would have also been in that situation where it was very isolated for me. The farm was something that we never left. 6 baje ke baad we weren't allowed to go out. My parents didn't allow us to go out. So most of my life has been from 1969 onwards here on this farm. So, but yes, I mean, a lot of changes have taken place. We have about 150 horses, and then also we had a dairy farm. So it was a big operation. But my father was not a businessman in that sense. You understand? He had the passion, but he did not have the business sense. So we ran into a loss, and we decided that my father, in his old age, he felt that "Na, bas ho gaya." I enjoyed my horse racing, and he had many horses. So he started presenting his things off closer to his time to go away. So he gave off his horses to Brar Sahab, and he gave off his cars to this one. He did that. And basically, sitting on this farm, he used to sit here alone by himself because he was structuring things for, us. So, and he told me, see this, I'm not going to take even an inch of this land with me. So when you come to the end of your life, you realize that मैंने क्यों किया ये सब? What did if I have to leave everything behind, but it was not regret. What he was just trying to get across to us that nothing material is really important. It'll come, it'll go, we'll come, we'll go. And to keep that balance of reality very constant, because today it's sunny, tomorrow it's rainy, you can't really, having said that, lots of things, there are lots of small instances that I remember of my father and our growing up here. For us, this was a place it was far away from the world, Bombay wasn't allowed. And we weren't allowed in the film industry. So he never wanted us to be in the industry. But then he had made the farm for that only, that all of us would come here and work with the animals and, so that love of farming started from that time. Having liking to grow and keeping animals and stuff like that. And then we realized that farming itself is not a business. It's good for self-sustainability. But as a business, it's unlike the West, where they get subsidies if they, so I became very active with Oxfam for farmer issues, We said our farmers were committing suicide. That's the time I met Dr. Kalam, also the president, with a whole lot of children. And what he told me made a lot of sense to me. Those children were children of farmers who had committed suicide. So what he said was, what you need to do is to empower these people, but don't make them examples. If you make them examples, then you're getting an emotional quotient in that. So that was very this thing. And we spoke to Pascal Lamy, and we said that the subsidies that you all get from your country, our poor country cannot afford that. For us, farming is a tradition. Farming is a way of life. For you all, it's a business. And, the government gives you money not to grow a crop. But over here, if our farmers don't grow, what will they eat? Talking about farmers, I was just having a word with because today is also farmers' agitation, I heard.
Yeah.
All over India. The reality is for the same, it's the same thing. Now, kya ho raha hai na bhaiya? In this modern development, we are losing sight of, because we are a very big country. We are 1.3 billion people.
Yeah.
And our infrastructure is not 1.5 billion, I would say. Our infrastructure is yet to grow. We're growing. It's a slow growth. You understand? It's not something that, and also we need vision. Lots of people say things, but then to implement that, that's the big challenge. Yeah. We can make wishes that we want to reach a certain place, but to reach that certain place, we should know how we are going to get there. It's a nice dream that I'm a picture banaunga, how I'm talking in that.
Yeah.
when till I release it. So that whole story has to be, and we need to. That's what I feel. I mean, of course, I'm just a singer, but I keep a keen interest in the growth of our country. You know, like how are we growing? What's happening? Why is it like this? What are the problems? And I feel education, lack of education, is one. You know, where if you saw in Germany after the Second World War, there were massive riots. You know, massive riots, communal riots, and then what they did, they industrialized. They industrialized and they became like the best machinery came out of there, the best cars came out of there. You understand? And then Germany became what do you call world economic power. Education is very important. Education, not to become peons of the Western country. You see, the educational system is very much gearing us to become serving them. You understand? We don't need to do that. We need, like for example, we had Arthashastra. Arthashastra had what you call how you could make a spaceship, how you could go into a different realm. You understand what I mean? Those are real, that was real science, which people are trying to do today. You understand? But so I think that we've been a nation of tribes, छोटे tribes, and सबको जोड़कर now so it's still a long way off. It's not something that will happen आजकल में. I don't know if I've answered your.
So Lucky bhai, yes. In fact, that triggers another conversation. So we are also working on a social project because we talked about education and farmers. So we are working on a project called Program Panchayat.
You know, we should have informal education rather than formalized this thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically the idea is, there are so many people working from home now. So practically they can be anywhere they want to be. So many
Yes.
people are coming to Goa. So why not channelize these people to go to villages, educate the villagers on simple things like making mobile payments or using social media more effectively or
Yes, Mayur.
yeah.
Many years ago, I worked on a project called AgriNet. And I made this presentation to Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, who built India's supercomputer, the first supercomputer.
Yeah.
So we had made this program. This was about 35 years ago when internet was still nascent. You understand? So me and a group of people like Ruxan's Technologies in Pune, and then we had our own team. We developed this thing, which Sharad Pawar ji at that time utilized for his grape, the grape plantations and all that stuff. So he would also done AgriNet. My AgriNet was a bit different. Using push technology, I would have had like farmers knowing, like if you are growing onions, then I know you're growing onions because it's there, the information is there, the weather information is there, the price of, you set the price. So I know I don't want to grow onions because there'll be a glut. So I'll grow tomatoes. You understand? And if I grow tomatoes, I'll grow tomatoes, or the other person will grow potatoes. So there won't be a glut in the market. It'll always be balanced, and you would cut out the middleman. So a farmer could, at any given time, know like what Mayur Bhai is growing. I'm not going to grow that. If I need it, I will grow. But if I don't need it, I'll grow another crop. So that kind of a varied sustainability in your crop management, and that kind of thing. And my thing was we should be supplying to just about 3 kilometers radius, especially in places like Bombay, in Delhi, where most of the land has gone to developing real estate. So if you've taken land away from agriculture and put it into real estate, you need to convert real estate into possibilities green zones, but it has to be managed. If you have empty buildings, like for example, in this case, I was thinking like, you have that factory area. Udhar aap ek 40 ya 50 male ki building bana de, which is conducive to sky farming. You understand? When you say sky farming, you're talking about growing all your vegetables, your poultry, your milk also. Milk comes down. Milk happens on the ground floor. Then many floors up. Then you start going agriculture. And then you even grow their food. So these are ideas. I mean, I had done a lot of talks on this and, encouragement to people in the IAS and people who of consequence. And the other thing was reforestation. You see, we are only left with less than 4% of forest. एक जमाने में इंडिया तो 1 था, but अभी we can't find a forest because हमने सारे पेड़ मतलब निकाल दिए. So reforestation. So last year, I think before last year, I spoke to, I think it was the Deputy Chief Minister of Himachal, Tiwari ji. Yeah, was it Tiwari ji? Yeah, the deputy, and he lives in Kanyal. So I told him, this reforest. He said that they wanted to grow 18% forests more. You understand? They needed. So now, how do you do that? So you have to utilize less money, but the present day technology and the will. You understand, to be able to do that. अभी देखिए हिमाचल है, हिमालयन पहाड़ है, हाँ? आपके कितने स्कूल्स हैं, पब्लिक स्कूल्स बच्चों के, हाँ? बच्चों को एक प्रोग्राम दे दिया, जैसे कि देखिए बच्चों, आप you give me seeds, what you call wrapped in mud. There's a technique, huh? And each school would give like say more than about 10,000, 20,000 seeds. I'm not talking कि आप माउंट एवरेस्ट पर जाकर ऊपर से आप भेजोगे, but I'm talking about the tree line. वहाँ बारिश के टाइम पर, क्यों बारिश के टाइम पर? क्योंकि जमीन जो है it is soft, तो आप जब फेंकोगे तो ठप करके वो जो मट्टी का जो पोटला है with the seed inside will fall into the soil, and then it has a chance to germinate. These kind of practical ideas, and putting a great emphasis on what you call forestry, and so these lot of programs. But क्या हो जाता है ना हमारे country में सब लोग, it becomes a different thing. So my job has been just basically to help bring about an idea, if it is possible, and if you told the children to do that, that Baba, you're going to be planting these. These are your seeds that are being planted in the Himalayas. Doesn't that give national integration? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
बच्चों को ये फील होता है कि हमने लगाया है, ये हमारे पेड़ है, ये हमारा देश. That's how. We can't have what you call. There has to be something living for them to appreciate.
Do you see a ray of hope
Tell me.
after this pandemic has happened for the last 6 months? The conversations are changing about environment. There's more mainstream conversation about protecting the environment, especially in India. Do you see it कि ये एक turning point रहेगा?
You need a chief motivator. You need a chief motivator who can motivate this idea of growth. Whether it's a beloved politician or whether it's a nice actor or someone like you. Anybody who has that sensitivity or the feeling for that will be able to convince children. But if you're doing it as a job and if you're doing it as करना ही पड़ रहा है यार, तो मजा ही नहीं आएगा. तो आप भी ऐसे ही करोगे, मतलब half-heartedly. You need to have very motivated individuals, youth, youth with a broad aspect of broad perspective, not someone with closed minds and closed spaces. So then what happens is, so there's a growth, you allow for things to happen. Same thing can be done in fisheries, same thing can be done in animal husbandry, But we should move away from corporatization of agriculture, corporatization of our forestry, because that will kill the whole industry again. You've seen it. It's happening now only. So you can see, today you can't go to a supermarket because there's COVID. You understand? But the open bazaars were good, na? जब बाजार खुले रहते थे, तो आप अरे भैया तुम्हारे टमाटर कितने के? नहीं, तुम्हारे से नहीं लेंगे, उससे लेंगे. That was fun. वो मजा भी आता था to go into the market. I'm not going to take names. आप कोई बड़े सुपरमार्केट में चले जाओ तो उधर यूनिफॉर्म में एक आदमी खड़ा है and आपको टमाटर खरीदने हैं या सब्जी खरीदने या फ्रूट खरीदना है और फ्रूट पके. We have to move away from the regular the Western concept of, we have to get back into our Gurukul system of things. That's the way we got to do it. That's the solution. But I don't know whether we're going to make the curve right now. Our country right now is going through tremendous upheavals. And our prayer is that, maybe this will bring people together to move it in that direction that you, me, all of us think that यार हमारा देश यहाँ जाना चाहिए, you know, like that way.
I agree with you, Lucky Bhai. I feel that the future is smaller communities. It's logistically efficient, and if you know where your food comes from, who are you buying it from,
So,
rather than going somewhere and buying stuff that you don't know where it comes from.
True.
And implementing the new age technology inside those smaller communities and then making it efficient.
Technology. The best technology is manual labor. I mean, if you're going to depend on machinery and even the internet, for example, just, I mean, this is just an observation. Suppose there is an EMP, a natural EMP, electromagnetic pulse. Where are your electronics then? You understand? Right now we are talking, it will just go off, we will become blank. We won't be able to communicate, planes will fall out of the sky. And these things have happened before, naturally. In America, they've had because the sun had an EMP, you know, it just messed up the entire electrical grid. So these things, don't depend so much on technology that, you know, that we don't know what to do. Don't depend on a button when you can just bend down and lift up something. You know.
And for our country with so many people, I think, you know, we have to strike a balance between using technology and deploying people to work.
Yeah, maza aega, you know, if you balance it out.
Yes.
Because not everybody has the aptitude towards it. I mean, my boy who's working here, he still does not know how to look. I mean, get the cell phone happening. You understand what I'm saying? Because they've not been thing. But if you tell him, yaar, सीना जरा ये करना वो करना, he doesn't need technology for that. हाँ ऐसा करेंगे, इसको यहाँ से खोदेंगे, फिर चैनल यहाँ से जाएगा, पानी ऐसा जाएगा. You know, you don't need technology for that. You just need थोड़ा सा insight,
common
sense. That's it.
So Lucky Bhai, how was your last few months now that you're not traveling and you're not doing concerts?
Very happy. Oh, I'm so happy. I was praying to God that Bhagwan, मेरा ये last concert करा दे, वैसे ही हुआ. You know, I'm so tired because of 12 years, 13 years, you know, being on the road and going to this part of the country. I've not gone abroad. I wanted to work here. You know, I want to take my music to India. I know technology will take it to different countries around the world. And that's what we got a lot of respect for that. But today, people in our country, even small, townships, know our music. They may not know me, but they know our music. They know the message within the music. So that's what it is about.
When I talk to you right now, I feel that I know you for so long because I've been listening to your songs since childhood, and you're the same person. Like, I can connect the lyrics with Lucky Ali as a person.
When you were young, were you a Beatles or a Pink Floyd fan?
I've listened to the song, but I never knew who was playing what because I was in boarding school. Yeah. And boarding school, I used to go down to the stream. मैं तो bunk करता था, you know, और पहाड़ में थे ना मसूरी में.
बिल्कुल.
So that was the music for me.
Thank you, Lucky Bhai. Thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure for us to have you on the show. So this was Mr. Lucky Ali on the Remote Explorers podcast. I hope you guys had a good time listening to him. Thank you for listening to the Remote Explorers podcast. We are soon going to launch our YouTube channel. Visit our website and subscribe to the remoteexplorers.com newsletter. We'll keep you updated with all the latest news around the remote work culture in India and also about what are we doing on the podcast. So stay tuned. Bye.